Welcome to another week of Both Sides Podcast. I am Chima with my lovely co-host Gloria, who is not so lovely, but lovely
That's
enough.
That's a lie.
I hope you guys been doing. Hope you guys had a wonderful week. I do want to thank you guys for tuning in again, listening to us just talk about stuff. I do want to welcome our new listeners. Hopefully you like us and you keep on listening. But without further ado, I guess we just hop into it though. What's going on with your week?
Into that joint.
Yeah. How was your week though?
My week was good.
What'd you do?
Work. Actually, one of my friends came out from Memphis to New York, so that was cool. And I actually went and saw Dave Chappelle and Solange at Radio City, and that was a really, really awesome show.
It's so funny with Dave Chappelle. I never ever knew much about the Chappelle show until probably maybe 2 years ago, maybe.
Really?
Listen.
You never seen the Dave Chappelle show?
There were a lot of things I didn't see. I don't know a lot of Aaliyah songs. Everybody gets so hyped about Aaliyah and stuff like that. The only time I really know from Aaliyah is from what's that movie? Romeo Must Die and Try Again. Try Again. That other than that, I don't know any other Aaliyah songs, and I know that
Rock the Boat. We Need a Resolution. 4-page letter, yeah.
Oh, well, see, maybe
so you know her songs. You probably didn't realize
it was her.
It was her.
And I do know her from sagging her pants and having like the Tommy Hilfiger drawers.
Yeah, but that style was popular back then. Mm-hmm.
It was so surprising. The one I remember for some reason I don't know why I remember this exact moment. It was my dad and I and my little brother were going to the movie theater in Nigeria, and he just randomly said, "Oh, I miss Aaliyah," and I'm just looking at this man. Meanwhile, this is at that point my father, and it's so odd because my father is the squarest man in the world. It's all books and working and the military. That's all he does. So when he said that, I was so confused. First of all, like I said, the only time I knew Aaliyah was from Romeo Must Die, but whatever. But apart from that, what else was?
Yeah, so the show was really good. Solange performed for like an hour, and she performed most of the songs from See at the Table, and then she did some songs off her True EP, and then she also did I think like 1 or 2 songs from the Hadley Street Dreams. I don't know if you like really familiar with like Solange music, but
I still haven't heard See at the Table.
Excuse me?
I haven't listened to it. I have no interest in it.
Are you saying no? Like that album was really good.
But the thing is I think one of the reasons why is because there's so much music out and so many albums to listen to. It's very hard to pinpoint which one to listen to. And things that, especially with me in music, I just can't hop from album to album. It takes me a while to fully listen to, get through an album. And after I listen to it the first time, and if I do enjoy a couple songs, I have to keep on playing them. I just can't keep hopping from album to album. But I guess
you have to sit.
I have to sit with the album for like at least a few weeks. To truly enjoy it, and sometimes I play old stuff before I hop onto a new one. SZA's album, even though I just found out about SZA like maybe this year.
Really?
I didn't know who she was.
I'm trying to get into her album. I can't get into it. I like her features, like when she does music with other people, but her album by itself, like I promise you, granted I haven't listened to the whole thing because I can't even make it past like the second track. Like I love Galore. Like I think that song is really good. The Weeknd is cool too, but any other song, I'll be like, as soon as the song plays, I'm like, no.
The only thing I know about SZA is my love is my man, your man is my
and
man.
Love Galore too. That was the song that came out before that.
I don't know what that is, but
with Travis Scott.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the point is that there's so much music out. It's very hard for me to. I'm still yet to get to it, pretty much. But apart from that, what else is that was it?
No, Dave Chappelle was hilarious. Like obviously, have you seen his Netflix special?
I haven't seen all of it. I saw part of it, but no.
Like, you know, sometimes like you watch the Dave Chappelle show, like it's just a different experience. Like actually seeing him live. First of all, he smoked the entire show, like chain like cigarettes, like just back to back to back, but he was hysterical. And they had like opening acts too that came out, which were actually pretty funny too. So it was a good show. It was a good week. How was your week?
Regular. I went to work. After the work, I came home and I went to bed, and I did that from Sunday through Thursday. I was supposed to start up at the gym again, like going fluently. Not fluently. Sorry, some technical difficulties here.
It's not really that difficult. You just hyping it.
But I was supposed to go to the gym consistently with my line brother. But I've been slacking. Every time I wake up early enough. I wake up at 6, but I'm like,
what gym you go to?
LA Fitness.
Oh, fancy.
Yeah, you know, rich niggas. But I wake up at 6 and I'm like, I lay in my bed like, all right, Chima, this is the day. You hop out this bed and you go to the gym. Then I look at my phone. Damn, 5%. Oh, well, guess I gotta charge
it. And after you charge the phone, it's like, damn, it's kind of late now. Gotta get breakfast.
I'm like,
going.
Oh, you know, yeah, I got. Damn, by the time I get ready, by the time I go to the gym and come back, oh damn, well I'll just go tomorrow. Then I wake up tomorrow, I'm like, okay, let me charge my phone tonight before I go to bed. Oh man, the charger is so far away. Maybe I'll just do it. But I want to actually start going back in because I'm trying to get this 6-pack and drop 90 pounds by summer of 2018.
90 pounds?
Yeah.
That's a lot of pounds.
You know, it's all good. I'm trying to come out styling summer 2018, summer body.
Hey.
And I want to start modeling underwear. Like, you know, the Calvin
Absolutely
Klein.
not.
Put some baby oil
Absolutely
on my body too.
Not.
Man, you a hater, bro.
Like,
you a hater, but
it was like if I was to watch or see a Calvin Klein commercial, I promise you I don't want to see you. Like, you were not the...
Guys, just remember this. Just remember all the people who doubt you in your life, who don't want you to prosper. When I come out with my Calvin Klein commercial, you know, and plus, you know, I'm chocolate too. So
what that means?
So when the white underwear hits me, oh god damn, that shit looks good. Just wait on it though. But apart from that, week was good. The last thing, the reason I do enjoy my week is I start work from Sunday. I work Sunday to Thursday, and when I come back from work on Sunday, Game of Thrones and Secure Ballers, I watch The Strain, and now The Last Ship is on. So all that comes on Sunday.
What's The Strain?
It's like this vampire show. It's weird, yeah.
The only vampire show I watch is True Blood. That's it.
Yeah, R.I.P. to that guy. What's his name?
Oh my God, how did I forget? It was something with the...
Damn.
Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed right now that I forgot his name from True Blood. Lawrence? No.
I can't,
something.
I can't
but
remember,
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to him. But True Blood was cool, but
Did you watch the whole thing?
No, I couldn't.
It was actually really
Sookie started getting a little annoying.
Yeah, she was annoying.
Yeah.
She was a hoe too.
She sure was.
She slept with everybody. The vampires, the werewolves, the regular people, the owners, like just everybody.
I mean, that's pretty much like, I guess she was finding herself. She's like Issa. You know?
Oh, is that what it is?
Pretty much. That's what she was. You know, now Issa's going through a whole phase, but we'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But apart from that, I mean, the week was cool. Started off, with those shows and off on Thursday. Yesterday was cool. Went to a Kamsi event.
Yes, we did go to Kamsi. Kamsi?
Kamsi? I said Kamsi.
First of all, you know me. I was saying like Kapinski. I was saying Kamsi. I was saying
Kamsi,
everything.
which is a black online magazine that is for to promote the black woman. Launch party was yesterday with Chinazo. Shout out to her. It was a good event, and it was really nice seeing beautiful black men and women all together. You know, just celebrating one another and
the vibes was chill. Like, it was just a good time.
It was good. And like, if you guys follow me on Instagram, ONVKWVRV, yeah, follow me on Instagram. You will see my snap story.
Your Insta story.
My Insta story, and it was a good event. So shout out to her for doing that. And I do pray that and hope that she does prosper with it.
Oh, she will.
That was dope. And that girl with the makeup who's trying to make
and the goodie bags was dope too. They put Miss Jessie products in there, and I was like, hey, they got the money. It's expensive. So just know that we see you and we appreciate the goodie bag.
I gave it to my sister. My sister was like, "Wow, thank you." I do these things. Big brother do these. I bought it for you, girl.
All right.
I guess we probably could hop into it though. On Twitter, I think Twitter this week there were a couple of things that I saw and I wanted to touch on, or we wanted to touch on. The first thing was this whole thing going around with women taking their husbands' last names.
Why you after Chima says everything he laughed? Like,
I laugh because there's some things that I just never even think about people arguing about. Like, there's just certain things that you're looking like, like somebody really put that much energy into talking about that. I mean, I guess something's important for everybody.
Yeah, but you know what it is? Again, it just goes back to like social media and like everybody feeling like they have a platform to talk about everything, and it's so annoying. But that's another topic for another day.
There are pros and cons with that. Now you have the ability to share what you see is wrong with anything, society or whatever, and some of it could be classified as fake outrage. But then again, who am I to say what should and shouldn't make you angry?
Right. Because if I'm angry, I'm going to be angry. But that's it.
I mean, I do voice my concerns from time to time on Twitter, but there's certain things I just like, it's not even worth it. But this was actually a very interesting topic, the women taking their husbands' last names. Would you want to keep yours or take it?
That's a good question. It's actually something that I honestly haven't really thought about until like I saw that and I was like, oh, would I take my husband's last name? I mean, I probably would, but part of me would be like really hesitant only because this is my name. Like that's all I've ever known. Like, would you adopt your wife's name?
I wouldn't care, honestly.
Like, I just like, this is me. Like, first of all, my initials are Gigi. Like, Gigi is me. Like, what would I be after I take somebody else's name? Like, it doesn't have the same effect. Like, I understand why people don't, and I understand why people do. As for me, I probably will, but I feel like I would still want my name in there somewhere.
You know how we blame the white people for everything? We could also, I guess, blame this on patriarchy as the reason why. I guess it's more of a Western thing.
Yeah, it is, because in different cultures, like a lot of people have their maiden name, like a lot of women, actually, I should say, have their maiden name. Like in Greece, it's illegal. Quebec, it's illegal. In a lot of countries, they don't necessarily have a law for it, but the women do keep their maiden name.
Yeah, I remember I went in high school. My Arabic teacher, Miss Nagy, so bad. Like
Nagy?
Miss Nagy. I hope she's not listening to this. So, I don't know. She probably wouldn't be, whatever, but you never know. But this is just more sort of an observation, so anybody listening to this, don't get offended, okay?
Oh, but that means you want to say something offensive.
She had the fattest ass. Oh, my God. I'm like...
Yo, every episode, somehow, some way, Chima got to talk about somebody with a fat ass.
Listen, fat ass is life, man. Ass is a beauty in things, man. Ass is wonderful.
Is the beauty in things? Keep talking. Keep talking.
But it's so funny. Just a quick background to how I started taking Arabic. For you guys that didn't know, I do speak Arabic here and there. I read and write, by the way.
We don't care.
You fucking hater, yo. But I walked into my Arabic classroom with my friend because we were supposed to take aerospace, but there was no more space for aerospace. So we walked into Arabic. So we go in there the first day. And they started doing all this.
Yo, can you relax?
so my friend and I just started dying, and I see the teacher. Oh my gosh, Miss Nagy, I cannot forget her, yo. Like, her ass was like, as soon as she just steps, and she was like, brrr.
Wow.
Just taking another step. Brrr.
What country was she from?
She's Egyptian. But we got close. We got to know each other. Went over her house a couple times.
This was in college?
This is high school.
Oh.
This is high school. We were all close, and she was cool. But she told me, I was like, she introduced her husband to me. Fucking loser.
Wow.
Introduced her husband to me, and I noticed that his last name wasn't Nagy. So I was like, wait, so what's going on here? Like, why aren't you taking his last name? But she said that in the Egyptian culture that they don't take their husband's last names. I wonder why that is, but that was the first time I ever
heard anything
heard about.
that.
Yeah, but it didn't really. I didn't care. Like that was one of those things. Like okay,
it is what it is. Yeah,
but the ass was a distraction too, though. So that's probably why I didn't really care.
So do you feel like you said you wouldn't mind if you took your wife's last name? Like, would that even be a thing?
I mean, I guess where I can see where people are up in arms about it because your name, I guess, is your identity. It does show your lineage. It shows, my father's father and all that. But if I think about it, like, unless it's, how do I explain this? It's very weird for me to, like, deep down inside, I can't be angry over losing that name because it's not that I don't feel a connection to it, but like my family is my family. We cool. We talk here and there. They're all in a village in Nigeria, and I love them dearly. But it's like, I mean, I guess whatever. If I lose my name, it's not like I'm losing my family in a sense. I don't know. They're still gonna be there. I'm still gonna love them the same.
So you would take your wife's last name?
I could take my wife if that was. I don't mind it. It's like, okay, I'm still Chima. I'm not really changing as a person. I guess the part where it might become a little, is like when kids come and get involved. It's like whose last name do they now take? Because it's not like you're necessarily killing off your family, but
if you change your last name to your wife's last name, then essentially wouldn't they have your wife's last name?
Yeah, I mean, and that's why I said, me personally taking the last name is just a name. I mean, I don't give a shit. Like,
is it just a name?
Me taking your name is not going to say, it's not going to have, it's not going to all of a sudden create this love and unwavering loyalty to your family. It's not like, okay, now I've taken your last name. Now I'm so loyal to your family and their culture is now my culture. I mean, to some people it might be, but to me, I'm like, yo, it's just your last name. And it's probably more so it means it's to showing that I love you. More than anything.
So you don't feel like it's you're losing who you are?
I don't think so. Because at the end of the day, I think it does come down to your actions and what you do. You can keep your name all you want and say, okay, my last name, for example, is Onukuru. If I'm not doing anything to uphold that name, if I'm not showing or giving back to my family or helping them out in any sort of way, what's the point of you keeping that name? It literally just becomes a name. Now, if it's one thing where, you don't want your family, your father's name to die, maybe you're the only son,
right?
Things like that, then it might become a little trickier to navigate. But for me, it's like, I guess.
It's whatever. Yeah,
it is what it is.
It is what it. I mean, I'm saying this now, but I probably would take the last name. But I just know I'll be hella sad about it. Like, I'm like, oh, I guess I will. But
I mean, and even with that, like, I wouldn't even expect, if my wife doesn't even want to take my last name,
you wouldn't be upset?
I wouldn't be upset. It's like, okay. And I think you have to judge everything situationally. And, I was talking to somebody today and she was telling me that the only reason why she probably wouldn't take her husband's last name is maybe if she was already established, there are a lot of finances already tied up in the name, then it wouldn't make sense financially to go back and start switching names because it becomes expensive. Now, if it was no, I can't even talk. If it was the case where you, I won't say not established, but you were still up and coming, you guys were still early, there really isn't that much collateral, I guess, tied in with your name. Right. Go ahead and take your husband's name if that's what you want to do.
So if you took your wife's name, do you feel like
I become a bitch?
Yeah, like she now has the authority in the household. Like, because I feel like that's what a lot of people, that's why, or probably where it's time from, like women taking their husband's last name because it shows like he's probably the authoritative
person,
excuse me, figure in the house. So if you were to take your wife's last name, would it then mean like you're a bitch?
I mean, no, because at the end of the day, like, what I think it comes down to what you define as, I guess, what would be emasculating to you, right? If taking your wife, if losing your name and adopting your wife's name, makes you feel like a bitch, I mean, I guess personally that's more so a personal matter, right? But if it's really odd. I think it's really situational. For me, what would make me feel like a bitch? Or what would emasculate me is, I guess would be not being able to provide for my family. If she's the main person that's providing for the family, she's I won't say the breadwinner, because there are some things where if she was to get into business and her business is more successful than mine or what I'm doing, she's obviously going to make more money.
Right.
Now, if she starts to throw that in my face or
nigga, I pay the bills around here.
If she starts to do that and or just pretty much does, to me, I think it's more so providing. That's my biggest thing. Any relationship I've always been in, the way I show my love is always through finances. I'm not the
damn. So you don't provide no emotional support.
And here's the thing: I'm not the most emotional person there. I can be from time to time, but it's not on a consistent basis, which is fucked up. And I am working on that. But
amen.
The most one thing, all my relationships, I am never stingy. I can be I might not, hold your hand here and there. I might not spend time with you on the phone. I might be distracted and stuff like that. But the way I show my love for anybody that I care about is finances. That's just me personally. That's just me personally. I'm not, when it comes down to paying for something or giving you money and stuff like that, I will always do it. Like I'm not that person.
You ain't tricking if you got it.
Bye. And so if you take that away from me and you're doing that, I might start to feel a little emasculated. Like, okay, I'm not holding my end of the deal. Like, what am I doing here? It's weird. I can't be a stay-at-home husband. No? I can't.
So you could take your wife's name, you could do all that stuff, but be a stay-at-home dad, taking care of the kids, because that's a task in itself. Like, exactly. Staying home and taking care of the kids is not like, oh, you just chill on your ass. Like, kids are a lot of work.
Nah, that's not good. Let's give you a lot of time to cheat, too. Like, when the kids go to school and shit, like, you be so bored. Like, what do? You can't watch ESPN all day because it's literally the same thing that they show at 9 a.m. is the same thing they're going to show till 3 p.m. Can't do that. I don't like to read books, so I can't join a book club meeting.
You should probably start reading books then.
I listen to books. I don't actually physically read copies. I listen to all my books. But, yeah, I can't be a stay-at-home husband. It's not good. Nah.
You just gonna end up cheating?
Yeah, it's not good, yeah. I'm joking, guys.
No, he's not joking. Let me tell you, everything Chima's telling you right now, that's him.
Get out of here. But I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. And I think the people that probably, especially the men that take offense to women not wanting to take their husbands' names, have huge egos.
Yeah.
They lack. They fail to see the bigger picture in things, and.
Because I think there's more things important than taking a last name.
Like it's
I understand
so
what it means or what it is in theory, but I don't think I really feel like in a marriage there's bigger things.
And for some reason, I think it's an African thing for some reason. I don't know. You guys can tweet us if I'm wrong. Ask both sides. Just let me know. I think it's more so an African thing as opposed to African American men that may be may take offense to women not taking their names. A lot of African men I see have huge egos. Huge egos. And I don't know, it's just one of those things. I don't know. I really don't care. I really couldn't care less. Like, as long as I'm providing for my family, I know they're good. That's taking the name.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. And you guys don't take it. I love my family. I love the lineage in which we come from. But the name is just if
a name is a name.
If we change, like, niggas change the name all the time.
What's that thing that Shakespeare? Yo, I can't talk. Shakespeare, right? That he said a name, if you call it like a rose, something else would just be as sweet. Yeah, if you call a rose by any other name, it's still as sweet as something.
Oh,
damn,
that's cute.
You just messed up my entire flow.
Nah,
well, part of it because
Shakespeare was a white supremacist, so we don't fuck
okay,
with
stop.
But yeah, moving on.
So moving right along, so we're going to talk right about Insecure. And there's just so many things to talk about regarding Insecure. First of all, I'm going to talk about when Molly found out that her dad cheated on the mother, and she was upset with her mom, like, how could you do this, and take him back and stuff like that. And then later on, just a few minutes later, we see that she slept with, what's his name? Dro?
Is it Dro?
Yeah, and first of all, this has nothing to do with anything, but I'm gonna say anyway. His teeth bother me. His whole mouth area just bothers me. Every time I look at it, I just be cringing. Like, it's just, I don't know what it is. I think he got like flipper teeth.
Son,
or whatever. Just
imagine him giving her a head and he accidentally just uses his teeth. It's a wrap for that vagina. No more sex for her ever.
Yo, it's not that bad. I'm hyping it, but it still bothers me, and I just needed to speak on that piece. But anyway, I think
that was an interesting piece, though. That was an interesting scene. Find out her father was cheating, because it shows how things really affect people differently, right? Mm-hmm. I guess with her and Molly's, trying to put myself in her mind, her parents were the ideal, I guess they were the epitome of love. Right. They were that picture. When love comes up in a dictionary, her parents were there. So by her father cheating, he, I guess, betrayed that, or he kind of tainted that picture, that perfect picture she had in her head. But it really goes to show how desensitized sometimes people are to things. When I saw that scene and found out that her father was cheating, to me it was like,
I was like,
okay.
I was just like,
all right. And
not that I felt like I wasn't surprised. Like, I felt like it was, in a sense, almost to be expected. And I think the reason
fucked up, though.
It is fucked up. And I feel like the reason why I think that way is that if they're in a extremely long-term marriage, I feel like something is going to happen, whether you actually physically act on it, or I guess if it's that emotional cheating. I feel like there's going to be someone at some point in time that catches your interest. Like, certain things might become comfortable in a marriage, and then there's something that kind of ignites something in you again that you're excited about, or you're checking to see, if they hit you up, or you want to go on a date and stuff like that. So I'm not really surprised that happens. So it is fucked up, but I think.
Now let me ask you this now. Just based going off of that, would you, if okay, let's say you and your husband were married for, let's say, 10 years now. Mm-hmm. He eventually maybe just slips up or something. Mm-hmm. Will you take that into account?
Yeah, I probably would.
Would you come back? Would you stay in a relationship?
Like you said, everything is situational. Like, right now, this is a huge hypothetical. I don't know what the circumstances around that was. If it was like my best friend, like, you know what I'm saying?
He's cheated with somebody random. Maybe he's his secretary at work. He comes into work, works 40 hours a week. He owns his own business, so he's there maybe like 60, 70 hours a week, right? Mm-hmm. He's seeing his secretary is. She might not even be the most attractive thing, right? But after seeing her for 70 hours a week, and
she started looking,
a little enticing here and there. So here he just slips a dick in a little bit, and he slips it right back out.
No, don't try to make it seem like slip in, slip out, hop in, hop out.
He accidentally falls in the pussy, and he comes back out, and he comes to you, or you find out, or he comes to you. However, whatever way you find out, right? Are you considering that 10 years and saying that, after being in a relationship for so long, sometimes you start to look, or what?
Again, like I said, I do think it's situational, but it is certain things to consider around that. Like, what are you asking? Like, would I take that into consideration as to if I take him back? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I probably would. Like, I'm not gonna lie. It depends. Do we have kids? Like everything is conjoined together. Yeah. It's so much harder. Like, people put up with a lot more stuff when they're married. Yeah, and that's just the simple fact of it.
There's a lot more tied in.
Right, tied in.
Finances, so children, lives. Yeah.
To be honest, it might be one of those things that you're taking a look at. I'm not saying it happens, because people don't stop being attractive once you're married. People don't stop being whatever. So I'm not saying that it's right. I'm not giving people an excuse. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that sometimes I understand the logic behind it. I don't think everything is so black and white sometimes. And I think
it's really so interesting when you always when you're outside the situation than when you get into it. It's
yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
I'm not married. I can't. Right? I'm saying this now. Now, let's just say I find out the secretary, whatever. I don't know how I'll take it then. This is how I'm talking now. I'm not married. I don't know, but I do know you put up with a lot more when you're married, and I do know that certain things can happen.
That's interesting. That's yeah. Wow. But I was just asking that just more so, and along that whole Molly and her dad cheating thing. But I saw, especially when I saw that when she found out her dad cheated and she slept with Dro. I think that's his name. What's the marketing guy's name?
Lionel?
Is that his name? I think it.
He dry like fucking rice paper, like just bland. Blah.
No, but it was, I saw a lot of people commenting saying that that how could she, like, it's so dumb of her to be so upset at her dad cheating, but she's going to go sleep with a married man. And I was like, yeah, y'all niggas stupid. Like it to me that was like a situation where 1 + 3 = 8. You know, it's like he came out already told her he was in an open relationship. The wife is in an open relationship. So I don't understand why people were calling it messy, or why they were saying it was such a big deal.
Sorry to cut you off, but I think the reason why it's messy is only because she's friends with the wife too, or at least that's what it made it seem at that cupcake whatever place they went to. It's too close for comfort. I think it's way too close to comfort, even if that's something that she wanted to do. And he explains to her like he is in an open marriage, whatever. I just think for the simple fact that she's cool with the wife is not something that was discussed prior to, or I don't know. Not that you would discuss it prior to. I just feel like it was just too close to comfort.
How do we know that
he could be lying?
The wife probably wasn't cool with them. Maybe they talked about it. Because I think with an open relationship, right, there's a level of trust that has to be had. Not anybody can just get into, especially like just a jealous person can't be in an open relationship.
Right.
You really have to trust the person that you're with. And sometimes open relationships aren't always about sex. Sometimes you might just want somebody for that emotional, maybe comfort, or emotional, somebody to talk to, or somebody to go out on dates with. I think we automatically assume that with open relationships, it's just sex with other people. And even if it is, right, there's a level of trust that has to be had with the two people. So if he is going after Molly, I'm pretty sure that he understands what could come of it, or what could happen. And I guess we'll see. But I do like that. I do like that Molly went with it and got hers.
Why? You know what? I'm not mad that she got hers. Again, like I just said, it's for the simple fact, like, it's too close to comfort. And, you know, I was seeing some things on Twitter too, like how women always try to investigate certain things with a relationship, but she didn't pretty much fact check to see if it really was in an open marriage, and he was just saying that to get the yams.
That is true though, but you really got to be a different kind of nigga to say
why is that different? No,
open relationship. I mean, with your wife though.
And I don't think that's different at all. Like, I feel like people probably say that all the time. People say a lot of things. People pretend like they don't have whole families. People pretend. I don't think that's
just Nigerian niggas though.
Nigerian, no. I think it's the whole diaspora. Really. Yeah. So I think like people really omit certain information. So it's not. I don't think he's different for saying, "Oh, I'm in open marriage," when he's really not. You know?
That's strange. She could have fact checked though, and I guess she didn't. Or maybe she actually didn't want to.
She didn't want to because she didn't know what she would find. Well, clearly she wanted to fuck because it wasn't that hard to.
But I don't know. She made a very. I think we all saw that coming when she stormed out the house and he said, "I'll take you home." Blah blah blah. Like, nigga, we know he was about to get the yams. So. And to me, I wouldn't take that W. I know it's weird that I'm classifying having sex with women as W's, but you know,
talk about it. Tell us a little more.
That's the misogyny in me that I'm trying to take out, and you know, the patriarchy that's over us. But I'm a work in progress. Try a little harder. I'm a work in progress, but I don't count that as a real W though, because here she was low, probably at a low point, and now which I guess he didn't really want to have sex with. He was ready to walk away, but she said yeah. But real niggas know that as soon as he got in that car, he wanted
to have sex with her.
I mean, no, he did, right? But I don't think I don't know if he was, because remember when he dropped her off at the door, he turned around and walked away, right?
He knew she was gonna do that arm grab
that come through.
Oh, Joe, please.
But like honestly though, every real nigga knows that as soon as he got in that car to take her home, he was gonna beat. I knew that. No, but,
everybody knew that.
But I'm really curious to see how this plays out. Because remember, last week we were talking about how Molly was having her internal conflict with things, whether she wanted to really pursue it, go through with this or not. And now she finally did it. Now I want to see how the aftermath of things, whether she's going to actually continue with it. The
aftermath is the wife going to roll up on her like, we not in an open relationship. He played you. And she's going to be upset that she... No, I think it's not, that's extremely murky waters.
I don't think so just for the mere fact of how close they are.
Who?
I don't think Dro and what's her name?
Yvonne? Oh, not Yvonne.
Molly.
What's her name?
Yeah,
Molly.
Yeah. With just for the mere fact of how close I don't think they give off a vibe of not lying to each other, being very honest with each other. So I don't think he's necessarily lying. It's just going to be interesting to see whether she's going to want to continue that relationship.
Maybe the next step will be a threesome.
I don't know. She doesn't strike me as that type.
Who? Like Molly or the wife?
Molly doesn't strike me as a threesome kind.
A lot of people don't strike.
Yeah, but the thing is that she's so quote unquote traditional with things, right? So it's if she does try to do a threesome thing, there's gonna be another internal conflict that we're gonna see her struggle with to try to have.
Okay, not to cut you off, but what is traditional about Molly?
You know how she wanted the checklist and everything.
That's a checklist. Is that
no?
Really
but it's still kind of. I mean, I would think it's traditional in a sense, like have a guy that's working at this place that's financially stable, that is no kids and maybe family oriented or has his things going on for each other, get married, then have kids, like I guess a staple is a staple relationship, I guess. Or,
yeah.
I don't know. It's weird, but I just imagine. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see where she goes with this. I want to see where that.
There's so many directions they could go with it. So yeah. So I'm curious, especially with the thing that was funny to me this episode was when Lawrence was stalking Daniel's page, and it's funny because
everybody goes through that.
What do you mean?
Everybody has been that person.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it was just funny to me because you don't really hear that part. Like, like it's always like the girls went through the page to see who he was dating, this and that and the third, but you don't really hear or see that from like the guy's perspective, even though we know they do it. So
yeah, we all do it.
Yeah, it was funny to actually see it, and I think I saw a couple of people like, oh no, we don't do that, yada yada. I'm like, yeah, y'all do.
Everybody does to some extent, and I think now everybody puts up this front like you want to be, you don't care. I'm moving on my life, this and that. But we all do it because this is, and it's natural. And I think it's okay and healthy to. I don't know if it's healthy per se, but I think it's okay to do because if this is somebody you once cared about, right? You finally broken up with this person, and you see they're moving on with the next. But you want to see who that person is. And sometimes we do it to our detriment because we try to measure ourselves up to the person that they're dating. What car are they driving? What job do they have?
Like,
are they attractive?
She got a Mercedes.
Exactly. Like, is this person better? How's Instagram look? Did he put up nice photos? Did he get likes? And all this extra dumb shit, right? God. And it really...
It sounds so crazy.
It's so crazy, but it really shows... It's more so like us looking at ourselves like, yo, I'm not confident enough with myself to know that I'm good. I'm happy with myself, no matter who she's dating. Even if she was, started a date or he started a date, a millionaire, or somebody who was more attractive. But I think we all saw that coming, though.
What? That him looking through the page, or her getting back with Daniel?
Their whole progression of things, right? Which I have to say that I do hate, because Issa is playing to this narrative of, guy and girl breaks up. Girl struggles for a little bit thinking about guy. Guy is having lots of sex and turning up, blah, blah, blah. Girl eventually gets over guy, starts to date somebody else or starts, being happy again, right? Guy finally realizes, oh, maybe I fucked up and what is this girl doing? Then now he becomes a simp and starts chasing after her, or I want you back, and blah blah blah. And the girl is like, okay,
why is that simpy?
I moved. It's not, I mean, it's kind of a simpy in a sense. I mean,
it's simpy for him to fight to get his girl back. Think about it.
Okay. Maybe
they've been together. I think what
a
couple years.
I won't say
now.
simpy. I won't say because I've done it before. Maybe I am a simpy. It is simpy. Whatever.
No, but that's why I'm asking you. Like, what is simpy about trying to get your girl back?
Okay, maybe it's not simpy. He tries to get his girl back. Okay, but it's this whole narrative, and I can smell it already. Like I can see where Issa's going with this shit, and I fucking hate it. I hate it so much because she caused this entire thing.
Issa. But remember when he met up with that other friend and he was talking to him at the bar or whatever, and the friend was like, oh, like you ain't doing nothing for 2 years. I can understand why like another thing would be attractive to her. Did we forget that?
No, we don't forget it, right? And I don't forget. I haven't forgotten it. But we have to stop trying to justify Issa cheating just because...
I'm not justifying anything.
No, a lot of people are. Maybe not you, but a lot of people, oh, he was broke for 2 years. So the fuck what? Now, if I was dating somebody and I said, oh, she was broke for 2 years, she didn't have a job, so I decided to go cheat, everybody would be like, why didn't you communicate with her? Why don't you tell her, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people are fucking caping for Issa's fucking whole ass, and it's pissing me off so much.
I don't mind it at all because I really think at the end of the day, it's what you guys do too. So I think it kind of shows on the other front, like some of the dumb stuff you guys do. Like it's holding on lights to that shit. Like y'all would cheat for anything. It doesn't matter. Right? So like now I feel like, okay, and that's fine. He was broke and not providing. She was handling everything. So what is the difference?
Okay. She was handling everything, right? But then she could have easily said, yo, Lawrence, I'm ready to break up with you. And that's when he actually started to get his shit back together when she was about to break up with him.
Complacency, laziness.
Okay, that's fine. But everybody in a relationship at some point in time is complacent to an extent. You get comfortable. There's, everybody is.
But okay, sorry. Continue. No, because I was going to cut you off.
You get complacent. You get comfortable because like, okay, I have this person here. It's the same mundane things, and eventually, like, oh, whatever. Now I don't have to try. Sometimes you do need that reminder, which is what she did in terms of saying, okay, I'm going to break up. I'm trying to break up with you or whatever.
Right. So essentially, then they did have some type of communication.
Okay, so since she did communicate that with him, right? And she still went on to cheat, and he got a job trying to be better.
Afterwards? Like,
that was
afterwards. Give me the timeline. I don't know. It's real unfamiliar right now.
Because remember, he started to get his shit together after they broke up, and not after they broke up.
Then he got the job, and he was like, "Oh, he's not going to take it because he knows that he could start his own, like, whatever,
his own business." But then after that was before Issa tried to break up with him. After she tried to break up with him, he then decided to go and say, okay, let me go get this job at Best Buy and start working and get my shit together, cleaning up, making sure that I'm providing for you. While being a black king and turning away Tasha time after time, fucking Issa then decides to go get fucking dick inside her vagina just because this man was complacent for 2 years.
Just because? No, whatever. Tell me. Wait, Chima, you earlier this episode, right? You sat here and said, you want to be a provider. You telling me oh my God, I don't even want to say as a man. As a person, you could sit on your ass for 2 years and tell me that you can't see why someone would do that?
He was a dickhead, but that doesn't mean she should.
Oh my God. Stop lying. Stop lying.
I'm going based off what you women say.
Oh my!
I'm going based off what you women say.
And what the women are doing is going based off the reasons why men cheat. Of anything and going through with it.
I guess we all fuck
so
then. Fuck
you trying to show us what we say. We trying to show y'all what y'all do.
All right, so we all going to cheat then. Fuck it. Bust your nut.
No, but oh damn, that is so. Because if you sitting here telling me right that you trying to show us what women say, and when women in turn showing you guys what y'all do, which is any other reason you want to cheat. It doesn't matter. Y'all would cheat just cause.
All I want is consistency. That's all I want.
People are inconsistent. Every week I say this. It doesn't matter. You're not going to get consistency.
So is it okay?
It's not okay, but that's not what you're going to get.
All I'm saying, if you're justifying why Issa cheated...
You know what? Ladies, justify that shit. I don't even care. Because I don't think it's okay. I honestly actually
I hope
really
y'all have the same energy when your man cheats on you.
Same energy. No, I really... in all seriousness, think that it should have been better communicated. I honestly, it wouldn't even have gone past a year. I don't even know how I went to 2 years. I don't even know how I went to a year.
Issa is trash.
I don't know.
Straight trash.
The only thing trash I can say about her is her little rotation. And the reason why I say that is because, well, honestly, I like the idea of Issa and Daniel together, actually.
And let me tell you another reason why she's fucking trash.
Why
she's trash? Because here comes this, I won't say Daniel's even a good man, because that nigga's trash too.
Why is he trash? Because he slept with her while she had a man?
While she had a man.
What that mean?
Black kings don't do that to. We don't do that to one another. We don't do that to one another. We don't. Listen, no.
Oh.
Please don't look at me. I've never slept with anybody's girlfriend.
Did I say that?
But I see the way you're looking at me is fucking looking at me like I'm guilty of doing that.
I just said, oh.
I have never done that, right?
Okay. So what? That means everybody else who has is what? Tell me, they scum?
Listen, they.
No, tell me, are they scum? For the people who have done that.
My point is, Issa
yeah, so
is
my
trash.
point is, that you see that consistency. I want that consistency across the board, because right now you don't have no words. But when I ask you the same question, now all of a sudden you let that.
Issa is trash. Daniel, whatever. He always wanted this girl. Granted, he doesn't know Lawrence from anywhere.
Because when did he always want her? Because when they first got together, and he was like, she had said something about relationship. Remember when they were in the car? That was season 1, and he was like, "Whoa!" Like, I didn't say nothing about like a relationship or anything like that. I don't know. Like, I think it was just fun for him. I don't know where it was like, he always wanted her.
Maybe it was just fun. Maybe the box was just that great, and he just wanted to keep on coming back. You know.
Or sensible.
Excuse me. But I don't know why I keep burping every episode.
You're so nasty. Yeah, stop eating what you eating before you record.
I just think that I can't hold it against him, because niggas fuck niggas girls every day, especially if he doesn't especially if he doesn't know him or from anywhere.
No loyalty.
You know, doesn't know from anywhere. So in his point, he's just having sex with this girl who just wants to have sex.
Exactly.
You know, whatever. But okay, the reason why I'm saying Issa was trash. Here comes Daniel out of his way, comes to pick up this girl, show that he's caring, he thinks about this girl, and she says, "Oh, I hope you don't. No, you know, we just cool, right?" I mean,
why are you talking like that?
Like, what is that? Like, he didn't even. That was God.
No, and the reason
Issa's
why,
trash,
why is that trash? She's trying to be upfront with him, right? So, why is that wrong? Wait. Okay, and that point in time, I don't know. The timing could have been better. But I feel like at the end of the day, she's communicating with him.
Yeah, I come with this consistency.
This is the consistency that I'm talking about. That was the consistency. How was that not consistent? Because she is telling him, because beforehand, right, like, she maybe was honest about like the whole man thing, like, I got a man thing, whatever. Now she's telling him, like, I'm dating, I'm doing me. I just want to let you know. What is wrong about that? You cannot sit here and tell me that's wrong. What she did. Back
to my consistency, right? Here, everybody wants to be honest, right? Mm-hmm. When you see a guy or a Texas girl, "Oh, I just want to have sex," you know, and the girl's like, "Oh, how could you say that?" And everybody's like, you know, everybody wants, you know, people to be upfront with their intentions, right? Here's the thing, right? Everybody says, you know, the delivery could have been better. Here is Issa, right? Not saying that she was wrong for being honest, though.
She's not.
But the delivery was terrible. How? I would have let. Ooh,
you would have left her ass
right there.
Wait. So if she was because of the timing after he went to pick her up and told him, you know what? Everything don't happen in perfect timing. It's just what it is.
No, they spent enough time together where they can easily have a conversation. Here's this man who offered to come help you because you were getting dick pics while you were fucking driving. I hope you know.
Granted, she did say that. Oh, I could do it myself, and he offered. And he acted on his own accord.
Right. Honestly, I would have left her ass right there because there's no way that I'm coming out and you say that while I'm giving you a helping hand. Because that says more on me than it says about you. It says that I lack. Yeah, it's more about me.
Okay.
That says about you. Because it says that I lack sense for me to be
discernment.
to be having sex with somebody who thinks that it's okay to say such a thing when I'm coming to help you at that point in time. You have no home training, and your parents deserve a fucking lashing for that.
Wow, I think that's really intense. I feel like that's why I'm asking, when is the perfect timing? Would it have been the morning after they had sex? Would it have been if they went out for breakfast? Would it have been when they were hanging out on a date? Well, tell me when would be the... No, I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. When would be the perfect time, right? If something, he's always going to be helping or doing something, or they're going to be hanging out or whatever,
false.
right?
This is false.
This is not false. They've been hanging out, right? Wait, Chima, is that false?
Gloria,
They've been hanging out.
No, okay,
they have been hanging out. Is that true or false?
That's true.
Okay. When do you anticipate...
And I'll let you know. Go ahead.
Okay. Them having a conversation about, and you say, I'm just a friend. Like, when do you think that would have been an appropriate time?
If you're we have casual conversations all the time. Casual conversations all the time. You say, you talk, you look at yourself, or you're sitting down together like, Daniel, what do you think about this? That's an easy way to start the conversation. What do you think about this? How do you feel about me? This is where I am. This is where I could be. This is where you are. Maybe I don't want you there yet. There's so many ways. The delivery was just fucking terrible.
I don't disagree with that. No, I don't disagree with that, right?
Trash,
all I'm saying is when would have been the perfect time. I know I don't agree with that anytime, actually either. I don't agree with that.
It doesn't have to be. Look, it doesn't have to be just after. They're 24 hours in a day. They're not having sex for 24 hours straight.
I never said.
They could be having regular casual conversation, walking down the street, even in the car driving home.
Even though that would have been bad. Not the action that isn't that what you over here saying the same thing. If they was in the car going home after he picked her up, right?
But Gloria,
what is the difference if she said it in the middle of the goddamn sidewalk? Gloria, if she said it in the car,
he came. Are you okay? Let me hug you to show you some kind of you're okay. I'm here to help you. I'm here to protect you. Anything you need. She then thinks it's okay to step back and say,
all she said is that I'm doing my thing.
I don't know. He's just trash, man. What do we say?
That's all I'm saying. You acting like she over here said, I'm doing this, that, and the third, and you just not shit to me, basically.
I'm just upset that I see where the storyline is going with Daniel, with Lauren stalking Daniel's page and wanting to probably go after her and get her back. It's
realistic, isn't that what you said?
It's relatable. The show is relatable, right? But it's also kind of cliche. But, whatever. She's making millions. I'm not. I still got bills to pay. She got different kind of money problems. So let her rock out.
On the topic of insecure, actually, since on Twitter was a little bit of, I don't want to say controversy, but somehow Yvonne, how you say her last name?
Orji.
Is she Igbo?
She's Igbo, yeah.
Virginity came up that she's 33 and she's still virgin, and I do believe she's waiting for marriage to lose her virginity.
Is she like vagina? Is she only like vagina virgin, or is she like, has she sucked dick before? Like, has she been fingered before? Maybe
you gonna have to ask her. It's not like we would know.
I don't know if she got a tongue up her butt before.
Yo, that is so wow. Just wow.
But listen, butt eating is mainstream now, guys. You ain't with it, ladies. If your man not eating your booty, leave him.
So you be eating the booty? You be eating the booty? Do you eat the booty?
But Yvonne Orji, she's really
don't try to just bypass my question talking about is mainstream. All right, so since you so gun ho,
I'm a child of God.
So what
I
that
don't
mean?
do these things. Just like Yvonne,
just like you said, child of God, but in the same breath, you ask her, was she a vagina virgin, or did she use her mouth, or did she take it in her?
These
ass?
Are valid questions.
Or did she finger her? So exactly, she a child of God too. So if you haven't done them actions, I'm gonna assume she hasn't either.
Okay. That's cool.
Right.
I mean, but I think the main reason why people were up in arms about her virginity weren't necessarily that she was a virgin. It was more so in response to this girl on Twitter. I don't want to say her ad name because I was giving her clout and shit. Can't be giving free promo to people out here who say dumb shit. But she said that this exact tweet to the Yvonne Orji virginity at 33 was tweet. Being a virgin at 33, not because you're asexual or have an issue attracting partners, but because of religion, is sad, not sorry. I don't know how I feel about that.
So many sides to tackle it from.
Then, just off that tweet, I started to follow through and see exactly what her thread was after that. She followed up and said, religion stinks so much. I know a guy who is 40 plus and still a virgin. originally because of religion, but now he's stunted and has too much anxiety around sex. She says, then she follows and said, y'all mad as fuck, and I do not care one little bitty. I'm so happy my partner and I are raising our daughter as an atheist and giving her the gift of freedom and reason. Because you niggas are wackier than a car with square wheels and can't even see it. My feminism is not about choice. My feminism is about agency. If you don't know the difference, you don't deserve to speak to me. I just want to say that when it comes to this feminism thing, there's so many sides to it. And low-key every day I find something new, and I'm just wondering, like, yo, what part do I rock with? Like, I'm all for the progression of women. Oh no, definitely. But every day I just find out there's something always new that's being added to the mix, and I don't know, and I feel like I could be wrong. I have no place to say this, obviously, because I'm not a woman, but this is just my point of view. I think that, with this addition of new bits and pieces, different kind of feminism, that I don't know whether it's diluting it or it's losing the main focus. Mm-hmm. But then again, I guess it goes back to the original point we're making in the earlier episode, where everybody has something that affects them, I guess, and I can't tell you what to be mad at. Mm-hmm. But I read this thread just because it was really interesting to see how interested she was in Yvonne's virginity. You would think this girl gave Yvonne her virginity to hold, and Yvonne is not giving this shit back. I'm
mad at the way Chima looking at me while he says that.
I don't understand why she's so mad that she decides that, okay, she wants to wait for a man who God gives her to have sex with.
Right, and I think the point too is that she spoke on agency. So how can you sit there and talk about agency and rights and stuff like that, and then also get upset that she wants to hold her virginity till she's married? Because
I think she's more so upset that she's attributing the holding out
on religion
to religion.
And again,
which is dumb to me. Is like, the fuck I got to do with you?
Exactly.
Like, I don't understand. So, God, Lord, Jesus.
I just feel like I don't know how anyone, like literally anyone, could be concerned about any else's vagina or penis if it has literally nothing to do with them. Like, if she wants to be a virgin, yo, go be a virgin. If you want to mess with however many people, you go do that too. As long as it's not affecting me, I truly don't care. Like, her being a virgin and saving herself for marriage, there's nothing wrong with that. So you can't sit in the same breath talking about agency and things like that, and then sit here and say, oh, that's why I'm raising my daughter to be an atheist. That was just really wild to me. And then I'm raising her to be an atheist so she's not subjected to these norms. That doesn't matter to me.
I try to find out what I guess the agency meant. So if you guys do have more insight into the, I guess, her talking about the agency.
Agency is just the freedom to do as you want, as you please.
I read the specific tweet that was talking about, I guess, institutions and stuff like that who hold power over, I guess, in this case would be the church and stuff like that. But it's really confusing to me, and sometimes I don't know what path to look at, because there's so many avenues to this thing. To me, I thought the main reason was about choice, right? But as she clearly states, her feminism is not about choice.
Well, she was trying to say it is about choice, but I feel like she contradicted herself when she said her holding herself to saving herself for religion is sad.
She's confusing me, but I just want to have this lady, God bless you. You might sue me for saying God bless you because you're an atheist, but bless your heart, and I hope you really find true happiness in this life, because clearly,
I just don't understand how you could be up in arms about why someone is a virgin. Like, it has nothing, literally nothing to do with your life at all whatsoever. you know?
I don't know, man. Everybody's so worried about what everybody else is
Else
doing.
is
So worried
doing,
about
except for what you
worried about
doing,
themselves.
because,
You know, God bless their heart,
you
though.
know, we'll just save that for another day.
But I think that pretty much brings us to the main. I don't want to say main topic because people that has been talking for like I don't know 45 minutes, an hour maybe. But most of you, I'll say, normally the saying is most of you know, but because of the white man and white supremacy, most of you probably don't know. Okay, there was a disaster in Sierra Leone. It's so crazy. Like when I came to America, the way they pronounce Sierra Leone and way it's said back home is different.
Yeah, so how do
Like
you say it? Because it sounded
with
like
my
a
accent,
little
well,
different when you
my
just said
accent
it.
is Sierra Leone.
Okay.
But here it's like Sierra Leone.
Young,
You know,
right.
there was a disaster that took hundreds of lives, and it's really tragic and sad because we live, especially living in America. You know, a lot of these things we're really privileged to be able to sit at home and really not worry about natural disasters necessarily coming to take you away, even though Houston is going through what they're going through right now. But you don't feel like you're going to die. You know, you don't feel that anything is coming to take your livelihood away. And that's a privilege that a lot of us wouldn't trade for anything. But to give you guys some kind of history and some context to what's going on in Sierra Leone, they did have a torrential rain, which eventually caused a mudslide on August 13th. Right now, they're reporting about 500 people that are dead. 800 people are still missing. About 20,000 people are displaced.
Right.
Now, it's really crazy just reading out these stats because, like I said, we are really privileged. I couldn't even imagine trying to say, where am I going to get my next meal from, or where am I going to live? I wake up in the morning. I know what's going to happen next. I know I'm going to go to the kitchen and get food. I know that I'm going to hop in
And
my car.
eat some UFO.
What?
Oh, you high. You high.
Oh my goodness.
Yo.
But we really live in a privileged. A lot of us, at least if you're listening to this podcast, we live a privileged life, and we do take a lot of things for granted. The reason why we're reporting this is because you don't hear this a lot. You see it obviously see it on Twitter because, especially if you have a black following, because we are of the diaspora, you will see it. I don't think there are a lot of people of non-African descent that are bringing awareness to this.
They're not. And it just goes back to pretty much like Barcelona happened. When was that? Last week?
That was last week, yeah.
Last week. We heard about it everywhere.
CNN.
All the news channels are covering it and creating, hashtags, all these things.
Paris had the Eiffel Tower turned off.
Yeah, the filters to raise awareness about it. But a mudslide that happens in Freetown in Sierra Leone, you barely hear of it. I heard of it due to Twitter, actually. I didn't see it from media coverage.
That's where I get most of my news from nowadays, honestly, Twitter.
I didn't see it anywhere else. And in terms of the coverage, afterwards, you didn't hear about it. There was no concerts being held. There was no filters being done by Facebook or Snapchat to raise awareness about it. Nothing. Not even a minute of silence for the people who lost their lives. So it goes to the point of when it affects Black people or when it affects Africa, no one really cares.
Nobody gives a fuck. And it's frustrating. Okay. And talking about Nigeria, talking about Africa as a whole, the things that we go through, and now in this case Sierra Leone, where nobody seems to be caring. There are no news reports, and I think this brings us to a point, or makes us realize that we do have to take care of ourselves. Nobody's going to take care of us. I think in America they say the black man, or the black people in general, have one of the highest buying powers there is, in the trillions or so.
Right.
Which is weird. It's wild. It's a lot. That's
a lot of money.
And we spend a lot of money on it, and we do really need to start. I don't want to say start taking care of ourselves. We already do, but the powers that be do prevent a lot of these things from happening. And it's really fucked up. Ghana has donated. South Africa, I think Nigeria. They down so far. They're at 605,000, and Turkey, UK, Israel, and the Emirates all plan on sending like clean water and medicine and blankets to there. It's really crazy because I did see a lot of the photos that are being shown out there. Mass graves being dug up. Like, can you imagine just waking up one morning to a lot of rain, flooding, next thing your house is gone, your next door neighbor that you knew for maybe years dead, no place to stay. They're still finding bodies every day, you know, and it's really sad.
And they're saying people are going through the rubble to try to see if they could find their family members. Like, everything as you knew it, gone. And it's sad that a lot of people, especially these media outlets, have kind of turned a blind eye or kind of decided to move on to the other piece of news. But we know as soon as news breaks, it's on the news 24/7. They talk about it for 5,000 days. We hear about Donald Trump every day. We heard about Barcelona all the time. And I don't want to disrespect the people who lost their lives in Barcelona, because that's equally as important as well. But when it comes to the continent of Africa, anything that goes on does not get the same media coverage unless they're talking about some type of outbreak like Ebola.
If it doesn't, I think if it doesn't fit their narrative, nobody cares. So even when it comes to even terrorism, right? So you have there are a lot of terrorist attacks in Africa, right? But if it's not, you don't hear anything about it. It's only when it hits some kind of European country or the United States that it's pray for this or pray for that or do this and that. And I'm tired. Honestly, I'm just tired of it. But I do want to get to a point. I do want to talk about a point when it comes to the West taken from Africa. And before I do that, there is a way. I do want to give you guys an option and a way in which you guys can help the people of Sierra Leone. Right now, there's a relief for Mama Salone, which is I think it's held up by Aminata, right? She's sending goods back, like not necessarily money.
Sierra Leone. No money. They want donations, for clothes,
good clothes, books, non-perishable items,
and toiletries. I think too.
And you can see. I'm going to post the flyer on the Ask Both Sides podcast Twitter handle. I'm going to post it on my page. I'm going to post it on my Instagram, and so you will have the means to communicate with her and get all that sent out there. I think we do need to start taking care of our motherland, because it is important. The motherland does more for the world than a lot of people think about. There's this TED Talk that was done by, I forget her name. Let me see if I can pull it up here.
I think she's Sierra Leonean too.
Yeah, she's actually Sierra Leonean, by Malence Bart Williams. And she pretty much just schools everybody on what what Sierra Leone, for example, is doing for the world, and shows that the world thinks that Africa needs them,
right. And I think too, it kind of comes off that way, like with the relief. A lot of people are turning to like the U.S., like I think Canada did some things, but African countries have the resources to help out Sierra Leone. Like we stated, like there's a couple of countries that did donate to the cause, but I really think we should start looking within.
I was even more on a bigger issue. Like the world thinks that Africa needs the world, right? So it's like, okay, I'm not going to send you relief or aid, or I'm not going to send you, the billions I'm giving you already for each year. But it's so odd to me, because most of the things we use now, the resources, the diamonds, the coltan, which is using your cell phone, zinc, copper, everything, cocoa, are all in Africa.
Right. Yeah.
So it's so backwards how they have us think that we need them to survive. Okay.
But not to cut you off, sorry, but where do you think, where did that stem from?
Colonization.
Exactly.
Years of brainwashing and psychological damage, psychological trauma. they've done a number on Africans. They've done a number on Africans, and this is why education is so important. And it kills me that our leaders don't see and understand understand why education is so important for us. They're so worried about getting money for themselves that they put Africa on the back burner and not put on the forefront and say, yo, I can still make enough money while not raping my country.
Right.
You know, while not robbing my continents of things that could progress them forward. Look at the Middle East, at least the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar. Kuwait,
how you say it?
Qatar.
Yo, I've been saying Qatar. Yo, my black ass Qatar.
Kuwait,
yeah, how you say Qatar?
Qatar.
Qatar.
But look at all those countries, and yes, everywhere has bad parts, right? But for the most part, they've done well taking care of themselves. You know,
they have.
Africa has oil. Africa has gold. Africa has diamonds. Africa has rich resources, minerals that we can help ourselves. And it's just so fucking backwards. It's so backwards. It's like, how do you make somebody feel like they need you when really you need them to survive?
Yeah.
And here, then you have somebody or a brave soul who then decides to say, okay, let me go ahead and, try to improve my continent. Let me improve my country. Then you have niggas like the CIA or MI6 or fucking, what's that shit in Israel? What's the MI6 version in Israel? I forget the name. Mossad, that's what they're called. Try to kill the person, or they plan some kind of attack to. So, God, I'm tired, and I don't know how this is gonna change. I don't know if it's ever gonna change, because the powers that be are not gonna allow this.
You think the powers that be won't allow for Africa to advance to the levels that we know it can?
Of course not. It doesn't benefit them. If I was there, I wouldn't either, because it wouldn't benefit me. Then I have to start looking for aid from them.
That's true, but I think a lot of the onus too still comes back to ourselves, because then we could delve further into like the corruption and stuff like that, like you touched on.
That's probably
a little bit before, that's another topic for another day, because I could spend hours talking about that. But I feel like, okay, so let's just say now, like they're not going to allow it, but how have we really also
helped ourselves?
And I think that's what it goes down to when I was talking about other African countries providing relief. It happened on August 13th, and I think they didn't start providing or sending money over until a week later. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's just, okay, South Africa has and Ghana has, but who else? Neighboring countries have. Granted, yeah, there's a lot of countries that are still struggling.
Psychological damage, man. Psychological damage, where our self-worth, where we don't see the need to help our fellow man because we're so caught up with
what we're doing.
Not what we're doing. Caught up with, I guess, the foreign lands, right? Or not trying to build up our people, or not seeing, if it was, I remember an incident, I can't remember what it was. I think it was the Paris bombings or something. And our Nigerian president, who, by the way, just fucking came back from being absent for 100 days. How are you out of your country for more than 100 days?
Who, the Nigerian president?
This man was gone from February. He just came back like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
My fucking goodness.
What was he doing?
I think he was sick or whatever, but he didn't tell the world. Like, he just said, I'm going to leave the country in the vice president's hand. I'll be back. Nigeria's fucked up. America's fucked up. Listen, I think I might just be a citizen of the water, man. I don't know, but I don't want to harp on this too much. I think this is probably on something we could talk about in another episode. Comes to Africa and dealing with things.
Yeah, because I really want to talk about now, like with this mudslide, too, like the psychological effects it's going to have on the remaining survivors, how that in tune turns into pretty much what continues to happen with how they basically, I guess, I don't know, like just the effects on dear children and generations to come what this must lie, because a lot of people are displaced now. A lot of people lost their family members. So right now they're going to be for themselves.
I don't know, it's tough. I am. I'm not even a prayerful person, but I do hope that we find a way to help them. Like I said, I am going to post the ways in which you can help on the Twitter, on Instagram. So there's no excuse why, you can't find it. You just go to Staples, spend $20. That's something that some child could use. And I just do hope that you guys do that. But just before we do end it, I did want to talk about to continue the fact with helping ourselves. Jay-Z did come out with I think a video with podcast with Rap Radar.
Mm-hmm. Wrap up.
Wait, is it Wrap Up? I thought it was. Is it Rap Radar? I thought it was. Is it Wrap Up? Oh. It was somebody. I can't remember who it was exactly, but there was this 2-minute clip that stood out to me. He was talking about how LeVar Ball, him creating his own sneaker line and stuff like that, and people were saying that why is he doing that? Why doesn't he just take the Nike money instead of building his own thing? And it stood out to me because it's like that's what we need to do as Black individuals. Create our own thing, support ourselves, because like I said, we do have a lot of buying power. But I don't know what stops us from doing so, whether it's the jealousy within our fellow man or woman, or what exactly is stopping us. But I do know that there was a lot of psychological damage done to us that we need to find a way to overcome. Because without that, we're just going to be stuck in the same cycle of trying to get it and trying to get approved from people who have already generationally benefited from the system, you know. But I really don't have anything else to say. Like I'm fed up with shit.
I just want the same amount of empathy that we have for Paris, for Barcelona, for everywhere else to be translated to Africa, and the same efforts and the same type of relief. Because, like I said, you don't see anything about it.
Like I don't think I even want that.
No, I do, because it speaks to just being empathetic, period.
Yeah,
for humans.
But we know that the world is, at this point in time, we already know that they're not empathetic. So if we bicker now and then all of a sudden say, okay, let's start showing empathy, I don't know if that really shows empathy, or they're just doing that to quiet us down, you know. So at this point in time, I think you have to do for yourself, as opposed to waiting for somebody else. 'Cause I really don't care if France France. Fuck France, honestly, on some real shit, because they've done some shit to fuck up Africa. That's like severely.
That's true.
I think the fucking president of France, I think his name is Macron or whatever his name is.
Mar something. Mm-hmm.
He just said that Africa's problem is the childbirth or how we're not civilized to make children. I'm like, after I had to turn.
Like, how could you oversimplify the issues of Africa and reduce everything we've been through?
Has taken and taken and taken. Go look at France's population. It's something simple. Just go look at France's soccer team. Ask me how many people are native French people there. Probably maybe like 4 people on their team. Everybody else is from either Algeria, Morocco, Cote d'Ivoire. Go look at their entire team. Go look at France, matter of fact. Fuck France though. Everybody's all Paris.
What was that?
But I don't know. Do you have anything else to say before we do? My ass is starting to hurt on this chair again.
I just want the segment. Like, if you're going to say that you're trying to end the show, I just really don't want it to be my ass is hurting.
I mean,
because then I'm gonna say the same thing every week. You got enough cushion back there. Your ass should not be hurting. You have not been sitting for that long.
Oh man.
So next week, let's try to create a better segue. But the last thing I really want to touch on is, I mean, even though you said at this point, if they were to do something, it was pretty much to quiet us down. But I want that same energy with all these other countries, European, wherever the case may be, to be translated to Africa. And I really do want to shout out my native country of Ghana for sending reliefs to Sierra Leone. Yeah. But we need other Africans to also come with that same energy and provide support for their brothers and sisters.
Definitely Africans. I don't care about Europeans and the whites though. So God bless their endeavors. They're always going to look out for themselves, and I don't blame them for that. At the end of the day, it comes down to self-preservation.
I'm kind of sad we didn't get a chance to talk about Game of Thrones, and that episode was so good last week.
I think it's good though because this episode was focused around black people, and the only black people in Game of Thrones, they're slaves and have no dick. So
Oh my god!
fuck Game of Thrones and that white supremacist Daenerys.
Every time I think about the no dick thing, I just think about how there was like these scissoring.
So I am not giving any no. I mean, I am looking forward to this hour and a half episode. I think.
Oh
tomorrow
my god, it's gonna be so good.
But still, fuck Game of Thrones though, because Daenerys is a white supremacist and Grey
you
Worm is a
relax?
slave. But do you have anything else to say?
He's free now, technically.
No, he's still a slave. Whatever.
No, I don't really have much to say. Just follow us on Twitter. I'll let Chima say his piece, but Noir Goddess, Noir
Goddess.
I keep trying to say it correctly, but NOIRE Goddess on Twitter, and then GO.BAH on Instagram, and make sure you follow our podcast Twitter handle at Ask Both Sides, and use the hashtag Ask Both Sides each week to present questions or topics or anything you would like for us to touch on,
or just if you listen to the episode and you just need to talk about stuff so we can see it, just use the hashtag as well. You can find me at where can you find me?
Complication.
IG and Twitter the same, ONVKWVRV. Okay, that's ONVKWVRV. Same thing.
You sound like a vacuum commercial.
And you can definitely email us too at the bothsidespodcast@gmail.com.
Yep.
Definitely want to give a special thanks and shout out to Spaces Podcast Network. Have a bunch of dope shows on there. It's a goddamn podcast.
The Mark and Dark Show, and they're coming out with some new shows.
What's your show? Lulu and
Pop.
Yeah, I actually do need to start listening to that. But yeah, definitely check out the Spaces Podcast Network up. If you have any questions or think about getting into this podcast life, definitely hit us up. And but apart from that, before we do leave and do close out the show, this week's song is definitely was chosen by Gloria. So if you don't like it, definitely add her, let her know how that shit was trash compared to mine.
You are truly an enemy of progress. Like you really are my biggest hater. Everyone would like the song. Okay,
but it's called Ghana Bounce. I was telling her when I first heard this song, I did give this song to somebody because this song fits her very well. This song is her theme song. So every time she walks into the room, it's going to be her song.
It's just going to be playing behind her.
It's going to play right behind her. It's called Ghana Bounce. It's by Ajebota22. It's a Nigerian artist. Ajebota is somebody who was soft. He was just like soft as.
So why you got the 22 behind her?
I don't know. Maybe that's his favorite soccer number. I don't know. Not physically soft, but just like weak-minded in a sense. That's like an American. Like, I don't want this. I want filet mignon.
Ew, so that makes somebody soft?
That's Ajebota. Well, there's two. It's Ajebota and Ajekpako. So Ajekpako is somebody who's hard. Like, and Ajebota is just somebody who's just soft. But definitely check out the song. We are going to post it on the Twitter. We could just give you a little clip on the show. So if you do like it, you do fuck with it.
And if you like it, definitely at me on my personal at Both Sides and say Chima's a hater. The song was popping. And that's it.
But yeah, if there's nothing else, I would say, do we have anything else to say to them before they read it?
No, nigga. I'm done.
But I also want to, in the future, definitely check out the pages for, future events that you might be interested in. That's something that we are thinking about bringing to the show. So get you guys your weekends nice and lit. But without, keeping you guys much longer, I do want to thank you for listening to the Both Sides Podcast. You have a great week.
Gonna bounce, over key, the joke, gonna bounce, over key,